Hey boys, I thought it'd be a great idea to do another coaching points video from the game yesterday, as it was such a high level game and we're playing such good soccer now. There's always room for improvement, of course, and I want to go through some of the opportunities that we have to learn from. Overall, I'm very proud of how you guys are playing. To go toe to toe with this team was very good, and I feel like the wins will start rolling in here in the next couple games, but we're playing much better soccer than we were last fall, and hold your heads up. So just a reminder, this is not to point out people's mistakes. This is not to say people aren't doing a good job. Everyone's playing great. Just watch the highlight video. We have plenty of great things happening. This is specifically to point out opportunities for us to improve and learn. So pay close attention, watch this video a few times, and hopefully we can all learn from each other on this. Here we go. With each clip, we'll watch it once, and then I'll play it again in slow-mo or in freeze frame, and I'll talk about it. So with this one, Logan, it's great to step and get a ball here. You're trying to pass to Kai, but it's way too close to black and it's way too soft. So number 10 picks it off really easy here. We have to connect those passes forward. We can't turn over balls in that moment.
Look forward. Attack, 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 attack!
This is a good quick attack by Kai. The reason why I'm freezing it right here is because of Lincoln. So right now, Lincoln, you're running in the same direction that Kai's dribbling. Kai's dribbling right to the space that you're running towards, and you end up getting in his way. What you need to do is make a cross run straight in front of their center back towards their left back into that space where you can see the corner flag. If you were to run into that space, number 19, who's marking you, is supposed to be marking you, will likely follow you. And that opens up the space on this left side for Kai to go through and strike the ball, or a reverse pass from Kai into the space ahead of you on the right side, past the center back, for you to strike with your right. So you don't want to run in the same direction that Kai's dribbling. You want to make a cross run to the other side for another option. As the play continues, Link, you can see that you get in Kai's way and he can't shoot. And then the ball kind of bounces around. It does pop out here and we get a shot, luckily, but we could have done better on this play. You probably think this is a problem for Chase or for Kai. It's not. The problem player here is Henry. Henry's playing like a forward right now. Henry needs to drop back in that pocket behind that player that's behind him so that Kai can pass him the ball. The reason why Chase is coming forward right here is because Henry's too high. Okay? Normally Chase would be about 4 feet back and there would be a big pocket of space for you to get the ball, Henry. So because you're high, Chase steps up and we have to play a straight ball to Chase with someone coming on his back. Now I told Chase not to be scared because he looked nervous when he got that ball. He should have made his body big, moved the ball forward as that ball came into him to keep that player behind him. Instead, he kind of nervously reacted and the player got the ball. So the lesson here is, Henry, you can't get caught standing up at the forward when your partner midfielder gets the ball. You need to come back at an angle that Kai can pass you the ball.
Knock away!
This is how Avalanche scored on us for their second goal, and Wasatch almost scored on us this way as well. We are not good at these. We're going to work on them at practice, okay? So we've got a couple options that we can do. The problem is they're playing the ball past our back line, and their players are running after the ball and trying to knock it in, and ours are not. So we stand too much on this. We have too many people trying to take the ball out of the air. I mean, right there you can see 4 black players get in behind. Isaac jumps up and tries to karate kick it out of there. He misses it, and it goes to black, and they almost score here. So we're going to have a better plan. It's either the holding mid stepping to it and trying to knock it out of the air while everyone else runs towards the goal, or everyone's going to step and we're going to pull those players offside. We'll work on both options. We will have a plan in place, but I wanted you to see this and remember this, because these are the situations we need to do better at.
Face forward. Face forward. Switch. Hey, whoa! Grayson, you should have gone.
All right, so Chase, on this one, you can't turn backwards, okay? You have options forward, and I don't know why, but you turned backwards and gave the ball to Logan under pressure. So Henry gives you a good pass here. It's good passing in the midfield, and you've got time, you've got Talon on the outside, which you turn and face him completely, and you can't even see Henry because you're facing only Talon. You could have played Henry through, okay? Or you still could have even played to Talon. He still wasn't marked that tight. But you turned around against pressure and then passed to Logan in pressure. You can't do that. As the holding midfielder, you need to be able to play those balls forward. The other person to note on this is Grayson. This ball, Grayson, you could have ran out and kicked it out of bounds before Isaac could have gotten there. You need to be aware of those and ready to run out and knock those balls out of play. On this one, Kai, you did exactly what they wanted you to do. By making this pass to the middle, they did not expect this player to turn and dribble Lincoln. That's not their plan. They're trying to get you to suck in enough that they can play wide. And you fell for it, because now you're running straight on instead of curling your run to block the wide. Okay? You still could have curled your run, and you didn't. You went straight on. It allowed them to pass wide. You can see me turning in frustration, right? So because of that, Lincoln's high, you're beat. Tavin has to step. They pass it by Tavin. Okay, now Tavin's up and beat, so Isaac has to step, okay, and they are able to play a ball down the line to their best player, who ends up getting a shot on goal. So it's a whole domino effect. If you get beat on that side, they could easily get through and get a shot on goal. Now, if we execute our goal kicks correctly and you curl that run to block that wide pass, they will give it right back to us. Almost every time. It will work, but we have to curl that run the right way.
Now Henry! Oh, here we go, go! Lincoln, give an option.
All right, Henry, on this one, I can see that you think that the ball's going to go out of bounds and you have to turn towards the field. But by turning the way you do and by stopping the ball, we lose the opportunity. Will gives a good through ball. You're past that defender. If you can get a touch on it forward and explode forward, that's what we want to try to do there. By coming backwards, you lose the ball, and you did this a couple times during the game. You don't have to. You're already ahead of the man. You don't have to cut it back and beat him again. Just explode past him on the first touch. Vance, obviously you're not crying in this situation. I'm trying to be firm with you to illustrate a point that there's no time for an emotional reaction when you lose the ball. So it's not huge, it's very slight. But as you lose this, you can see you kind of turn your head and throw your arms a little bit like, oh man, I lost the ball. You could have turned around quicker and chased that down, and you might have been able to get it back, but instead they're able to play it out. So as a forward, you're gonna lose the ball a lot. You're supposed to try to dribble people, and you're gonna lose the ball. But if you're a forward that can just not have a reaction and just go and get it back right away, then that can translate to goals. So don't have that reaction, just get the ball back.
Nobody's following! Every time when we have kicks like that, nobody follows! It's unacceptable!
I shouldn't say following. I should say nobody's running. I don't want you to follow the player. I want you to run ahead of them and knock it away. You can see the players on the other team are getting in behind us, and if they get a touch on that ball, they can score. We have to run ahead of them and knock it away. We're standing too much on these, and we're going to work on them at practice.
Forward!
Henry, on this one, obviously it's just a poor first touch. So we got to be careful about these, because if we have this turnover in the middle of the field, they could easily counterattack. Luckily, Aiden is there to step up. It's a great step and win for Aiden to get the ball back.
Play. Turn! Good. Next now. Kai. Knock it! Isaac, a little quicker, Isaac.
Isaac, on this one, you have a lot of confidence and composure on the ball when under heavy pressure. You do a slick little move, a slick little pullback to open up space, and you go forward, which is perfect. The problem is right here you refuse to use your left foot on the pass. Right here you should have passed with your left foot inside or down the line, but instead you touch it into your right foot to try to make a pass with your right, and that player just comes in and knocks it away. By using your left foot on the pass, you plant with your right and you protect the ball from that player. You exposed the ball, he played it back to his own team, they play it forward really quick while you're out of position, they almost get a counterattack goal as a result. Fortunately, Logan was there to step over and knock it out of bounds.
Good, Chase. No, don't stop it. Go with it.
Kai, you can't try to stop this ball. We need to go forward here. Look at Henry. Pass it to Henry, first touch. That's where we need to go.
Switch it! Good ball!
This is a great switch by Tavin. We need more on the first touch from you on this one, Henry. This is where we need an attacking touch. So you tend to pull back a little bit, bring it back inside, and let that player get in front of you. I think you could have beat him on the first touch. Instead, you cut it inside. Now you try to cut it back. You're trying to beat him on the dribble again, really, and he picks you off. So we need to do more with the first touch. We need to have an attacking touch forward. We need to attack the goal faster.
Hold it, no shot, no shot. Where's the offside? Hey, he's offside now.
Here's the replay in slow motion of the goal that we thought was offside. I couldn't identify in the moment with how fast it happened and with the deflection exactly why it was offside, but I just knew it was offside. I thought it maybe was number 15 because he was off the whole time, but he wasn't really involved in the play. So, the other ball that was, the other player that the ball was deflected to, that's questionable. But if you look at the player on the other side of Will, he's already ran past Will, and this player knocks it to him right there. So the player on the far side was offside, and he's the one that knocks it in the goal. So yes, it should have been called offside. Okay. Referees aren't always going to get it right, especially in a tight situation like this where there's a deflection. Unfortunately, we don't have VAR, so we were unlucky here.
Players, don't look down. See players, stay engaged. Chase, you go by the ball. Chase, please, one dribbling. That's where you should have been. Come on, Chase, work, buddy, come on.
Jace, on this one, I think you had a mental lapse because you're walking away from the play to go mark a player that's already being marked. And we need to be closing on the other side of the field. It's a throw-in on the other side of the field, and you're nowhere to be seen. They throw it into the wide open player, and then you try to get involved as the player dribbles to this side. But you need to be more involved defensively. You can't just start walking away. Like, you need to stay engaged.
Lock it, first time, good. Space.
Henry, here's another one where you're choosing to try to dribble a player when you don't need to. Right there, you should play it into this space towards the camera on the outside advance, but instead you cut it back inside, another player closes on you, and now we've lost the opportunity. We have to play forward faster.
Beat him. Good, beat him. Finish. Hit.
Chase, this is a golden opportunity for a goal here. It's a perfectly placed ball. It's an easy shot to hit. You've had these types of setups before and you've done the same thing. You lean back, you're not balanced, and you pop it up over the goal. You can't do that. We need to focus there. We need to drive the ball into the back of the net and get the goal.
Now, Jace.
Make a run.
Double here now. Double, win.
At this late point in the game, we're trying to delay our pressure a bit to force them to pass it along their back line and keep the ball in their defensive third. But when they make this pass wide, right here, Jace, you need to book it over there and double on that pressure with talent. We could win that ball right there in counterattack, but you didn't really pressure it. So you delay, but only into the point when they make the pass. When they make the pass, we pounce on it, we double on it, we try to win it, we try to get the counterattack.
We're there. Hey, just get in his way. Just get in his way. Watch middle. Go now. Good. We're just delaying Henry.
Henry, I know it seems like I'm picking on you. You played a good game. There were a few moments in this that we need to discuss. So on this one, we want to force this ball wide, okay? And you run too far. You're trying to get in front of the player. When Will's got the wide covered, you don't need to come over this far. And by coming over this far, you're leaving the center player wide open. You needed to cut that middle player off and force them towards the wide where we have Will and Chase. Yes, Vance is out of position, but he's not a midfielder. I had him in there for different reasons, and it was almost effective. We can talk about that, but you need to force that wide. This is their final goal when we had moved Logan up into the midfield and we thought they were offside. So when we go 3 in the back, Isaac, you got to be careful not to move wide unless they're within goal scoring opportunity. You must stay more central. So McCade can still stay with that player right now, but you're drifting away from the middle, and the 2 players in the middle are running in behind you. 2 players behind you. Will's too high. Will should be back on number 10. Okay, forget about number 2. But look, when they strike the ball right now, those players are onside. Isaac's just so far wide that it's hard to tell. It makes it, and they ran forward as soon as he struck the ball. I don't think it was offside. When he struck it, they were behind Isaac. Isaac was out of position. They ran in behind. They knocked the ball, scored the goal. So, reminder, Isaac, when we drop to 3 in the back, you cannot come out of that central position unless it's to stop them from scoring. You were going wide to prevent a potential pass down the line. You can't do that. Let them pass it down the line. Let them go down to the corner, right? That doesn't matter. They're okay in the corner. You stay central. Will, you were too high on the outside. I'm not going to be too hard on you guys for this one because it was at the very end of the game. We had just made the adjustment with Logan moving into the middle. We were a little out of sorts in this moment and frustrated by the second goal. So it's not a huge deal that they got this third one. It really doesn't matter, but there is a learning opportunity here, nonetheless. I hope you all got a ton of information from watching this video. There was a lot to learn. This was a very high level game. We played awesome. We had this team tied at 1-1 until 3 minutes left. I think this was a huge step forward for us. I think this season has been great so far. We haven't gotten the wins yet, but if you continue to play like this against the teams we have left in this division, I'm very, very confident we can get the 4 wins that we're seeking. So hold your heads up. Let's keep playing this way. Don't let up. If we play a weaker opponent, we have to play this good. We have to play this hard. Don't take these things personal, okay? This is about you becoming a better player, okay? This is not about pointing out mistakes. It's the players that can listen without emotion, without getting frustrated, or without getting mad or emotional. Listen to the information I'm giving you. Try to learn. Try to improve. I'm on your side. I'm trying to help you. Let's get better together. Let's accomplish our goal this season, and let's get our first win this week. Thanks, boys. We'll see you at practice.